On today's episode of Anime Afterthought Fire Force Episode 20, Wearing His Pride. With today's episode, we get the most mediocre and dissatisfying look at the series so far. Or at least that's what I would say if it was fucking opposite day. No, in fact, we get the most amazing back and forth battle I've seen in anime since Hunter x Hunter Volleyball. And if you get that fucking reference, you get an A+ and we can be friends. So last we left off, our heroes entered the Nether. Yes, once the lifeblood of Japan's transportation, the subway line, now a ruined, abandoned mess after the cataclysm, or at least thought to be abandoned. This is the hideout for the Whiteclads and the Evangelist. So Company 8 is taken upon themselves to deal out the Justice Fire Force style. Now, soon after entering the Nether, the group is split. Mirage, using his ability to create, well, mirages, creates a smokescreen of fog, and the group is soon ripped asunder, each member confronting their own enemy Whiteclad. First up, who destroyed Assault? My guess is Iris in the Nether with a lead pipe. Yes, Maki going full Nekomato and unleashing her Lucky Electry, followed up by a 1-2 hit combo from the sister with a mad swing, is able to take down this fucking monster, who is able to use his fire to create giant projectiles in the shape of bullets, but I mean, they were fucking like missiles. Meanwhile, Maki is taking on the familiar Whiteclad known as Flail. Lucky for her and unfortunately for him, utilizing Sputter and Flare, as well as Vulcan's new weapon, the Iron Owls, is easily able to dispatch his goon and land a devastating blow that leaves him literally cratered into the fucking ground. But with today's episode, we see what the other groups are doing, and it mainly focuses on Takehisa. Yes, this firearms expert is heading further down the tunnel, when out of nowhere he is blasted with a super hot, super powerful explosion. We've seen this explosion before. Yes, it is Arrow, and we know her flames are fucking devastating. Now, while at first it seems Takehisa is completely outclassed and overpowered, and somehow Arrow has the ability to hit, wherever the fuck Takehisa is, we see the ember of his determination grow. Once Arrow brings up the fact that they're after the Adala Burst in the possession of Company 8's rookie Shinra, we can see Takehisa go into full brother mode, trying to get close range, trying to use his ricochet ability, but unfortunately he's just no match for this female Robin Hood. But the lieutenant has a couple of tricks up his sleeves. When it's about firearms and pyrokinesis, control is the name of the game. Well, unless you find yourself in this type of situation. Something that calls for strength over finesse, something we soon learn that Takehisa is definitely not lacking. He takes out what looks like an antique fire gun and the barrel that looks like a fucking cannon. And what we get, an attack so devastating that the barrel can literally not contain the explosion and is destroyed after one use. This attack is fucking devastating. Things so powerful, even the other Whiteclad onlookers compare it to a fucking tank. And like I said before, this is the most amazing part of today's episode. It's this unbelievable, dynamic, fluid, just super visceral back and forth between Takehisa using this unbridled velocity, going balls out with every single blast, literally destroying the barrel of his gun, and on the enemy side, Arrow doing the same, and it's just an amazingly animated moment until we get to the second to last blast. Yes, these two are battered and bruised, lying on the ground after what seems to be a temporary stalemate, both suffering tons of injuries. Takehisa almost can't get up off the ground. It seems like his eyelids are glued to his eyes. He's beginning to lose consciousness until he sees the emblem on his arm. Yes, Company 8. That small ember of determination turns into a giant roaring flame. Both him and his opponent are back on their feet, each one gearing up for their final assault. Arrow unleashes a giant blast, heading right for Takehisa. But the lieutenant has a brilliant plan. Having his bullet travel through Arrow's flame, he's able to utilize that and increase his velocity even more. And in a move only reminiscent of something you would see in a fucking Dragon Ball franchise with this giant fucking rainbow type effect coming out, is finally able to hit its target and completely decimates Arrow. Yes, Arrow is down for the count, but at this point, our lieutenant is completely exhausted, and this is when the two Whiteclads make their move. Soon, Yona and Mirage appear from their hiding spot, looking to take advantage of the situation, and even though our lieutenant lost his glasses, he is able to see something off in the corner, and using his last bullet, is able to cave in the ceiling. No, not as an attack, as the Whiteclads assumed in a last-ditch effort. No, he decided to use this opportunity to call in reinforcements. Arthur, who had just, happened to be looking through a peephole, watching the entire match go down. Yes, the Night King, or we soon to be known as Samurai Knight or Knight Samurai, makes his grand entrance in just a hilarious fashion, which we soon see the efforts of all his training. Yes, it seems Arthur picked up some more key type abilities. What the 7th refer is the breath of life. Each attack will have, some kind of discerning attribute, which will actually change, when or how a person will breathe. And it seems our Arthur has picked up on the ability to discern that. So when coming against a Mirage who's literally creating dozens of clones of themselves, Arthur doesn't even flinch. No, he can tell that these are all fakes. None of them have that breath of life to them. But soon after an onslaught of these fake clones, he is able to end the battle with a single slice. Mirage, who has happened to be hiding behind the pillar that Takehisa was leaning against, was going in for a kill. That breath of life saved the lieutenant. Yes, it wasn't Arthur who was the target, it was the exhausted Takehisa. And all I can say in that little situation, god damn, that was amazing. Now the other Fire Force soldiers, each one is pairing up against other Whiteclads. Yes, Maki finally found the other girls, Iris and Tamaki, who called her a giant gorilla or demon. I forget what they called her, but of course she thought it was Gorilla Cyclops again. I don't know where is she getting the Cyclops things from. I mean, she has two eyes. I don't know. I don't know where she's getting the Cyclops. Gorilla, I understand. She's pretty thick. She's a thick girl, but it was all muscle. I like it. Anyways, Shinra is finally able to find Victor, and we see him use his rapid moment or rapid kickman, or I don't know. They're still, trying to choose the name, but we end today's episode with a standoff I've been waiting for. Yes, Vulcan and Captain Obi have come across Lisa, known as Feeler, and Dr. Giovanni, who is a fucking cringy creep, and I think he molested her. I mean, I'm throwing that out. I don't know exactly what's going on, but he's like behind her and kind of like a weird hugging her and kind of putting his cloak over her and saying shit like, should I have to teach you a lesson again? Like, she's visibly scared, but she's also visibly excited to see Vulcan is there to specifically talk to her. Like, she's blushing and, oh girl, you look good in anything. Like, I don't know. But as soon as he touches her and says, do I need to teach you a lesson again? She goes full on white clad mode. So I don't know what the fuck, abuse or torture or I don't know. It got creepy. I got creepy vibe. I got goosebumps, not because I'm excited, because I was fucking creeped out. Like, I think that dude's a pedo. If anybody in the series is a pedo, that motherfucker's it. But that's where we leave today's episode. Like I said, today's episode was fucking amazing. The animation in the back and forth between Takehisa and Arrow, literally, it was reminiscent of Hunter x Hunter, the volleyball scene where Gon, Killua, and Hisoka are taking on, the volleyball dude on Greed Island. But I want to say, like, it was, the back and forth was so quick and dynamic, and the animation was fucking beautiful. Like, oh my god, the effects were amazing. We finally get to see Takehisa stand up, and like I said, showing his pride. Like, fuck yeah, he did. Like, today's episode was fucking bonkers, and the setup was just as amazing. Next episode, Obi versus Giovanni, and we see Obi. He fucking has no powers, and Giovanni, I mean, he was able to take down Shinra lickety split. Like, fucking, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a sucker punch, but he's at captain level at least. So like, I want to see those two fight. I want to see how the fuck Vulcan is gonna deal with Lisa. I mean, there was a betrayal, but we obviously, he's almost acting like it's fucking water under the bridge. Like, dude, she just betrayed you. She was about to fucking kill you. Yeah, it was under duress, but at the same time, she could have just came out and fucking told you, hey, by the way, the Whiteclads, specifically Giovanni, is wanting me to find this key of Amaterasu. Like, you better hide that shit or whatever, but we gotta, like, can you help me? Like, that's another reason I get like the fucking creepy vibes, because like, oh, I taught you how to trick a man and shit. Like, this is a fucking creepy. Like, I'm getting chills. Like, he did something. He's up to he's got a fucking stash of like kitty porn fucking somewhere. The dude's fucking creepy. Anyways, like I said, today's episode was fucking amazing. Probably one of the best back and forths. It's on par, if not better. Like, the animation's ridiculous. Like, if they step it in the Blu-ray and they fix like all the small details and shit, like, and improve upon it, like, if you improve upon that scene, you're probably making one of the best back and forths I've seen fucking ever. Not a lot of scenes like that come to mind, and this one was fucking ridiculous. And the way that Takehisa utilized Arrow's, own flame against her, and like his just second gen abilities fucking rock. Like, he literally came against like the perfect opponent. Like, it was fucking amazing. Like, loved it so much. With that being said, and hopefully another badass battle right around the corner, I cannot wait for future episodes.